Is?
Okay, there's Ryan. Okay,
Hey,
good.
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good, John. How are you?
Well, doing pretty good myself. Look, this United Way had to spring into action pretty quick on this one, didn't they?
Yeah, just like everybody else, we woke up one day and everything became around COVID-19. So we've been working hard, just like Al was saying. I'm so proud of my staff and my volunteers. Everybody has gone above and beyond, working hard, tirelessly, long hours for the last number of weeks, trying to help as many people as we can.
Now, the one thing that's good about United Way, you had connections with a lot of places because that's the nature of the United Way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the great things about our organization is that we have so many partnerships. When we need to do something new, it's not all that hard to call people and say, hey, are you in? Can you help with this or can you help with that? So we're so fortunate for the good relationships we have with the town of St. Mary's and many other organizations, not-for-profit organizations across the region, companies and otherwise, and it's making it all happen pretty quickly.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that United Way does have. You have the help, and then we have a graphic that go up there. Help do localgoods.ca. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, well, it's a website basically designed to triage people in the community, because what we found in the first couple of days is that people were trying to find out how they could help or where they could find help or if they could give. And so the website helps people funnel to all those things. We do the same thing through our phone number. People can call the United Way and they can find that same direction. But helpdolocal.good.ca is really just a quick way to get to the issues that are at hand right now. So within the website, there's all kinds of resources, John, and I'll just keep speaking along about them. For example, there's a connection to something called the COVID-19 Resource Group. And that is a really important piece of Facebook wonderment that is happening in our region, and it grew so quickly. My staff and volunteers put it together within about 24 hours of the time that we started locking down ourselves, and we now have well over 3,500 members on that Facebook page. The great thing is that we have struck a partnership with libraries across the region, and so we have it moderated by our staff, some volunteers, and librarians from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So if you have a question about anything, you can go on there and ask. Or if you're unable to get help, you can actually ask, and a neighbor will pick up and help you within minutes. We've seen it happen so many times where community members have just been helping community members because a request has been made. So it's been pretty cool to watch that whole thing.
Right. And again, it takes a lot of people to really do it. No one unit could do it itself. I know we've got a really good plan in St. Mary's. Being able to have United Way supplement that is just more, is a better thing. What about the Urgent Needs Fund?
Well, very quickly, we also set up a fund because we knew whenever something like this happens, and we remembered back to the days when the tornado hit Goderich, when we were involved in that, and knew that we had to spring into action pretty quick, because what happens is there's always people that fall through the cracks in these kinds of situations, right? No matter how hard the government is trying, no matter how hard everyone is trying, there are vulnerable persons in our community who, for some reason, don't meet the criteria or don't have enough family or friends around them. And so we wanted to be there for them and help organizations to be there for them in this time of crisis. So the Urgent Needs Fund is essentially an opportunity for people to give who can. Now, we know there's many people who can't. There's many people who are not working, and this is a difficult time for them. But for those that can, we're asking them to make donations to this fund, because what happens then is we split the donations two ways. One, we're partnering with our social services friends, and this should be online within about 2 weeks, or maybe hopefully a week. We're working on it as fast as we can, so that individuals in our community that maybe don't have a government benefit that they need access to right now can actually get dollars. They can get help right away. We've also been working hard on giving money to organizations, and of course, it's wonderful to be able to say that we're helping the Friendship Center with the wellness program that you were talking about just a little while ago, to make sure that those services can be free to people who come and ask. And so we've raised quite a bit of money. We have just over $100,000 that's come in different ways since the beginning of the crisis, and it's fantastic. We've got about 50,000 that's come in for seniors. Over and above that, that's coming from the federal government. We should have that soon and be able to disperse it. But we're working on just helping so many organizations. For example, beyond the St. Mary's Wellness Program, we've helped the Huron Search and Rescue folks who actually have been supplying volunteers who have been vetted before this whole thing. They were an emergency response group, a volunteer group put together for just such an occasion. And so their volunteers are helping in communities across Perth and Huron, helping to deliver Meals on Wheels and supporting in various different ways where they're needed. We helped One Care, another program that's across Perth and Huron for the most part, set up their grocery delivery service. And so if the wellness program can't get something to you in St. Mary's, you can also call One Care and they will help deliver groceries right to your front door. We've helped the John Howard Society because they had to figure out how to work remotely and actually weren't set up for it. So they needed money for technology so that their workers could continue to do counseling and services from their homes. We've also helped a program called the Community Table in Exeter, which is doing food hampers and other important things for individuals in that community. And that's just the beginning. We're taking more applications, processing them actually within about 48 hours and getting money out the door within 7 days for these programs and services really quickly. So it's been fantastic.
So I'm a businessman. I run a business in St. Mary's. I'm having real problems. How do I get involved and how do I reach out to you to get assistance?
Yeah, well, you can head to localgood.ca if you want to find out how to help. There's also a section on there on volunteering, and so when organizations are asking for volunteers, we post it there and connect the people with the organization so they can vet their volunteers. For example, CNIB posted on there looking for some virtual friends, so you can check that posting out if you're interested in connecting with someone who is isolated but also has a loss of sight. That would be a fantastic program. So there's opportunities up there all the time. So businesses that want to help, maybe with a donation, they can head to our website, perthhuron.unitedway.ca, or to help do localgood.ca. Both will get you there. Individuals in the community can also give. We're so thankful for the incredible response.
Yeah. Now there's one thing we have to talk about, and because your Perth-Huron Perth COVID-19 resource group is 6 to 11, I think you said, correct?
Yeah, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But sometimes people we're in the middle of the night and life isn't looking so good, and they're in a dark area. They're on the ledge. What kind of services do you have for them?
Yeah, well, one of the most important things for everyone to remember, any time of day is 211 service. And so you can call that number and get help. They triage people to services in our community all the time. But if somebody does call and is really concerned, is maybe in a bad place, they will stay on the line with you and do a warm call transfer to an emergency service like the mental health line that exists here in our region. And so we're really proud of 211. We've been working hard. We've updated more than 500 records of our about 2,000 records in just the last week. Because there's so many programs and services that are changing, and that takes a lot of time and effort calling and trying to find out what programs are operating, what hours. But you can trust that if you go to 211, either online or call the number, it has relevant, up-to-date information for everyone in St. Mary's.
Right. And I think it's important to realize that nobody should be embarrassed or ashamed if they're sort of acting out of sorts, because life has changed for absolutely everyone, and all of us, including hosts of Front Porch Show, go through some interesting mood swings where you just sort of wonder what's happening, and so if you don't feel ashamed if you're on the brink of something and going to a bad place in your mind, call 211. Make that last phone call, because it's really, really important. Because we're all going through this, but it's easy to say that, but the thing is, everybody's an individual, and there is help if you need it, and there's no shame at all to say, look, I'm in a spot where I just need some help, even if it's a bit of encouragement. Okay, well, that's it. Any more you have to say? Again, give your phone number again.
Yeah, sure. You can call the office at 519-271-7730 if you need anything as well. Karen answers the phone live. We have it piped to her home so that she can talk with anyone in the community that needs a hand. So please call that number if you need something that's beyond perhaps what the wellness program is able to give in St. Mary's. And she's available from 8:30 to noon, and then again from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. daily during business hours. And if you need something outside of that, please do call 211 and they'll help you get connected to the right place at the right time.
Yeah, knowing Karen, friendly voice. You wouldn't want to hear a better voice. Karen, if you're listening, love you.